Hello everybody and welcome back. I hope you're all well. Just want to say a really quick thank you for all the wonderful messages and comments I've had. Oh, they mean the world to me, they really do. We'll just pop him back up there. No, he just doesn't want to, he can stay there. Oh, that reminds me, do you remember this little guy that my daughter made me that appeared in a previous video? Well, I asked her if she wanted YouTube to name him, and she very adamantly said Mike. His name is Mike. So Mike will be appearing in probably all my videos for now, and he can sit over there. So yes, this video is a VR to the lovely Chanel Days, and this is her mid-year tarot tag. I like this one because I like to reflect on things. I like to go back and not reassess, but yeah, reflect. Reflect is the word I'm looking for. So yeah, I really wanted to do this one. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first prompt is the deck you have used most so far in 2025. This was an easy pick. I haven't used lots of decks, but this is definitely one I've used the most for various reasons. This is the Mind's Eye Tarot by Olivia Rose. Initially, it attracted me because the artwork is so different and it's so unusual. But yeah, this is an interesting deck for me. I'll explain why in a moment. So we have, it's a really beautiful guidebook, nice and chunky, but it's fairly minimal on the meanings and descriptions, pretty standard RWS sort of interpretations. But yeah, this deck. Let's talk about the aesthetic stuff first. It's a really beautiful deck. I love the artwork. It's got gorgeous glossy foiled sides. It's a nice cardstock. It's kind of linen-y feel. Yeah, it's a lovely looking deck. Now, let me talk about this deck a little bit more. I chose it as a study deck, and I studied it for a month, and I was a bit kind of, yeah, okay. It's all pretty kind of standard rider weight if I look at the guidebook, and you know, the sort of symbolism in it is mostly the same. I think there's obviously a few cards that are different, but I couldn't quite connect the guidebook and the cards. So I thought, right, now I have to go deeper here. I have to almost disregard the guidebook and your standard rider weight and dig a little bit deeper. And so I did. I dug deeper. I looked at the images. I wrote more about my thoughts and my intuitive interpretation of each card. The fact that the eyes, apart from in that card, interestingly, the eyes, yeah, I mean, look at that one. God, if he's not looking at you and telling you something. And so yeah, I did a much deeper dive, which is one reason why this is a most used deck. And then I started to do readings with it, personal readings, but also a couple for some other people. I won't mention who. And yeah, look at the dragonfly. Yeah, it's brutal in the fact that it digs down far deeper than quite often you're prepared for it to. I love that card. And particularly one of the readings I did for somebody else, the look on her face was almost like you've literally stripped me back and dug into my soul, and I don't know how I feel about that. And from that point on, I put this deck away because I don't want that kind of power in my hands. But no, that's not true. yeah, it's one that I just felt I needed to leave alone for a bit because it's a very, very deep deck. So next up we have a deck that is new to your collection. Now, it depends how you interpret new. I mean, a lot of my decks are pre-loved. As you know, I like to try and get them pre-loved if I can. And sort of the nature of the beast is that there aren't any sort of new releases particularly very often that come up for pre-loved. So I've gone for this deck because it's new to me and I bought it new. This wasn't a pre-loved deck. And I chose this because I love the theme, which is Wheel of the Year. And I'm kind of starting to get a little bit more into decks with a limited colour palette or monochrome decks. I'd never thought I'd like them, but yeah, since the Phantom Wise, I'm really starting to get into them. So the guidebook here is just gorgeous. Look at that, double page spread. I haven't, as I said, this is really new to me, so I haven't looked at this very much, so I can only really give you a sort of superficial view on this deck, really. And a little kind of brief flip through. But yeah, I loved the theme. I liked the monochrome colour palette. I like the shiny edges. It's lovely cardstock. Oh, I should say this is a rock pool deck, by the way, and it's by my pronunciation. This is by Berenguer de Moncy, and I'm so sorry if I got that wrong. But yes, they are incredibly beautiful cards, and I think possibly a little bit shiny for the ring light at the moment, so I apologise for that. But this comes with elemental suits, so you've got earth, air, fire and water, as opposed to the usuals, but it does follow RWS mostly, I think. But as I said, like I say, this is a really new deck to me, so I'm just trying to find something from all of the suits for you. Yeah, sorry, I'm making a massive hash of this one, aren't I? I'm just trying to find a sort of variety of cards, trying to find the suits and then some of the majors. So yeah, there's not a lot more I can say about this until I really work with it, I have to be honest. But at the moment, I'm loving it. I'm really keen to get started working on it. I even love the size, actually, and shape of the cards. I think they're bang on for shuffling and my teeny tiny hands. Actually, that's a fab tower card. And there's some very beautiful cards in here, actually. That's gorgeous. So yeah, that's the Tarot of the Sorceress, a Witch's Wheel of the Year. As I say, I'm sorry that was a little bit of a lame sort of description of the deck, but as I say, it is a new deck to me, and I haven't really worked with it much yet, but hopefully I will, and maybe give you a bit more of an in-depth opinion in the future. So next up is an interesting one. This is a deck that could be better. I nearly chose an oracle for this, which is it's the Fairy Oracle. I can't remember the exact title, by Brian Froud. It's Brian Froud's artwork. I desperately wanted that. When it arrived, it was beautiful, but the cardstock is just shocking to me, and I was so disappointed. But I've gone for a different angle on this one. This is the Pagan Otherworlds Tarot, which I wanted for such a long time, and I really found it difficult to find one that was within my price range, one that was genuine. But I finally got it, and I thought, wow, I love it. The box is gorgeous, even though it's a tuck box, which I'm not generally a fan of. It's a gorgeous tuck box, so I was really happy with that. And actually, I love everything about this deck. And so you're probably wondering, why on earth have you got this in your could be better slot? Look, I love the cardstock. It's that linen-y feel. I love the artwork. The artwork to me is beautiful. It's perfect. It's right up my street. It's everything I look for in a deck generally. And so it's a bizarre choice. I appreciate that. But I don't get the readings I want from this deck. And this isn't a problem with the deck. It's a me problem. I'm sure of it. I don't know. Maybe our energies just don't vibe. Maybe I'm just not in the right mindset when I use it. You know, it's such a clear deck. It's a clear RWS based deck. I mean, look at it. Look at the, you know, that couldn't be clearer. But for some reason, when I do a spread with this deck, I just cannot make sense of why I have the cards I have. Now, maybe that's just because I've only been learning tarot for a couple of years and there is something more in depth about this deck that I'm missing, that I don't understand yet. But it's almost certainly a me problem because, as I say, this deck is stunning. I love everything about it. It's one of my favourite decks aesthetically. It's gorgeous. And it should be a really clear read, right? Look. But yeah, the thing that could be better with this deck is me, I think, probably. But yeah, I just don't get the readings I want from it, which is so disappointing. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to go back to it when the time feels right. And, you know, maybe I'll make it a study deck. I think perhaps I was naive about it and I thought, oh yeah, that's like pretty much classic right away. Nothing to see here. I'm going to get on with this fine. So maybe it was just a naivety, misplaced arrogance. I don't know what it was, but yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful deck, and I want it to be better, or I want to be better. I want to be the reader perhaps that this deck deserves. So yeah, maybe it's me, maybe I'm at slot number 3, that could be better. But it's the best kind of fit I could find for the tag, and I hope that the reasons kind of make sense. Yeah, that's the Pagan Otherworlds Tarot. Okay, prompt number 4 is a deck that you are currently using. For this, I've picked the deck that I'm using for my daily personal readings, rather than my study deck. And this is the Green Witch Tarot by Anne Mora. I keep it in this pouch because I use it so often, and the box is one of those big sort of Llewellyn style boxes, and it's just so much easier to not have it in that. And I do, however, I keep the guidebook on my reading desk in case I need to kind of go back to it, but I've used this deck a lot and I pretty much know it inside out and backwards now, and it's just a lovely, easy, comforting, intuitive read for me. And I'll show you the guidebook anyway. It's a good guidebook. It's got lots of info in it. It's got spaces for notes with the majors, because the majors actually, on the whole, are different from the RWS. I think you have the witch, there's a fall. But yeah, I mean that there, look, that is a lovely, comforting, warm, cozy room that I want to be in. It's just, I love the pagan-y, witchy feel of these cards. They just speak to me. And actually the reason I bought it was, and actually this was a pre-loved one as well. I got this because I'd posted on a tarot Facebook group that I was looking for witchy, pagan-y themed decks, and this was recommended, and so glad it was. So the suits are different in that swords are athames and cups are chalices. I love the Earth Mother. Yeah, so there's different. Oh, and there he is. I will talk more about him later, but you all know my connection with this chap. It runs very deep. Yeah, I've just realised actually that you can see my ring light reflected in the cards, which I'm really sorry about. This is a real tell me that you're new to YouTubing without telling me you're new to YouTubing moment, isn't it? Yeah, so they are by majority based in RWS, apart from some of the majors and the suits, but the imagery is really clear. Most of it is RWS-ish. But they're just, like I say, they're a really comforting, easy read. I pull these when that's exactly what I need, a nice, easy ride. Just a little bit of a hug from a deck of cards, and these definitely give me that. And yeah, he's so cool. I love him. And that one as well. Yeah. So anyway, I could waffle on about this deck for a long, long time because I love it so much. I've edged it in a sort of antique-y, oldie-worldy kind of effect, which I don't think you can see very well. But yeah, it's, like I say, it's a really easy read. It's comforting, it's homely, it's cozy. Possibly not a very summery deck, but I don't care. I will use this all the time. Okay, the next prompt is your biggest surprise. Now, this one gets a little bit personal, so I'll try and be careful how I explain this. When I had that transformative tarot reading, which I spoke about before, one of the things that was said to me was, "Oh, you're a real contradiction, aren't you?" And it made me go, God, yeah, actually, lots of things clicked into place. And the more I kind of looked at myself, the more I realised that that might be where a lot of my issues had come from. And I've started to be in a place where I realise that's actually a really positive thing and something that I really love about myself. But this isn't a therapy session necessarily, so I'm just going to get into the deck. So I bought this because it appealed to that narrative. It appealed to there being two very different parts of me, and I thought this deck would help me explore that. It's relatively new to me anyway. It's a pre-loved deck, but this is the Tarot of Light and Shadow by John Matthews. As you all know from previous videos, I love John Matthews, and actually he's got a John Dee deck coming out, I believe, in November. Now, being a huge Tudor history fan and a huge tarot fan, that to me is just the perfect deck. And the fact that it's a John Matthews deck is, well, as you can imagine, icing on the cake. So this is a double deck. You can see here from the guidebook that you get the light and the shadow. And it's good actually that they put them both on the same page if you're using the decks together. There's a little bit on directional reading and some example spreads. It's a great book, actually. It's a really good guidebook. But yeah, let's get onto the decks and why they're a surprise. Now, the reason I got them was, as I said before, I really wanted to explore that sort of contradiction in me. But it's great cardstock. I'm so made up with this cardstock. The thing about this is that I don't like the artwork. It doesn't appeal to me in any way, shape or form. And when I had my first look through it, I thought, oh, you know, maybe this isn't going to do what I want it to do. And I'm not going to be able to get on with this. And I thought it was going to be a big disappointment. But I thought, well, you know, as with everything, I'm going to give it a try. I'm not going to dismiss it just because of the artwork. That's a sort of big mistake. I'm so sorry about this ring light situation. I hope that it's not spoiling the card view too much for you. But yeah, I really, really hated the artwork, but I thought I have to use this. I have to give this a go. So I started off with just using the decks separately to begin with. I think the idea of using them together at the moment is tempting, but a little bit daunting and intimidating. But yeah, this shadow deck, wow. It was a big surprise. The readings it has given me have been so stripped me bare kind of readings. They kind of said, look, you think you've worked on this, love, but you haven't. You still haven't really dug down into the crux of this issue, and I'm going to make you. Come on. So yeah, it's a very effective deck. And then we have the light deck, which actually is a big surprise to me, that I really love the artwork now. And I think it's because, I mean, this dude particularly, it's so Bayeux tapestry, it's so Middle Ages, and as you know, with my love of history, that this is just a great deck for me. I can remember seeing the Bayeux tapestry when I was very, very young, and being so fascinated by it. It's one of my earliest memories, I think, actually. And so this deck, and the figures in it particularly, they're kind of this gorgeous modern Bayeux tapestry kind of style, and I just love it. And it's one of those decks that I found sort of is like a friend that takes you by the hand, pulls you to one side and goes, look, I think you probably need to address this little thing. Shall we do that together? Shall we? Yeah, let's do that together. Whereas the other one is a much more kind of deep therapy session, shall we say, with somebody you don't know, but that's going to be very, very honest with you, but really helpful. So yeah, that is a big surprise, because I thought I was going to hate it because of the artwork, and I didn't think it was going to be for me. But yeah, it's brilliant. It's absolutely superb. I'm looking forward to working with the two decks together, but I haven't got around to doing that yet, because frankly the idea is terrifying. Exciting, but terrifying. So there we go. So that is the big surprise. That is the Tarot of Light and Shadow, which I have officially now fallen in love with, artwork and all. Okie dokie. Next up is prompt 6, which is a deck crush, deck you are currently crushing on. This could be 99.9% of my decks, honestly, but narrowing it down to the last few months for the hashtag, I've selected a deck which is pre-loved but is new to me. I think I've only had it probably a couple of weeks, so I haven't really worked with it yet, but I fear going off at a tangent on this one because I love it so much, and my articulation goes out of the window when I love a deck. But this is the Fifth Spirit Tarot by Charlie Claire Burgess. This is the indie version and a first edition, which makes it extra special really for me. But yeah, so the back says Fifth Spirit Tarot, a queer plus inclusive deck for a world beyond binaries. Now, by their nature, the majority of my decks are kind of historical, ancient, oldie worldy, Middle Ages, or yeah, just decks that do not have or are lacking real representation and inclusivity. So that was kind of my main reason for getting this deck. I felt it was an important deck to have. But also it's beautiful. It's just stunning. It's that lovely kind of linen-y cardstock that I love. And yeah, I mean, look at the Hierophant. What a beautiful representation of the character and personality of the Hierophant. And yeah, everything in this deck, every card reads beautifully. And I mean, look at the Ace of Cups. It's so beautiful. What an image. I mean, and this Lovers card, I think, is probably my favourite Lovers card ever. You know, for me, that's showing self-love. It's not about finding happiness in somebody else. It's about loving you, and it's just stunning. And that's kind of the whole vibe of this deck. It's a really warming, loving, oh yeah. That card aside, I really struggle with that card. We'll just cover it up with the Queen of Swords there. But yeah, so I love the colour palette. I love the softness of the artwork. Look how beautiful. Yeah, okay, the tangent is coming, I think, because, oh, this chap, the King of Cups. I love this even more because another favourite of mine, as I've mentioned before, is Unlocking the Tarot by Lisa Papez. And she uses Mr. Rogers from Mr. Rogers' Neighbourhood, I think that's what the programme's called, as her kind of prompt for King of Cups. So when I saw this card, there was just another reason, as if I needed one, to adore this deck. I am. I'm lost for words. See, I fail to articulate properly when I really, really love something, and I just find I don't have a lot of modern image decks, as I've mentioned. I have a few, but not that many, because generally they're not something that appeals to me. But I see that card. Look at that. It's, you know, heartbreak, but it can be mended, reflect. Yeah. Look, I'm going to go off into my own little world now. I mean, not that it's a difficult journey for me to make generally, because that's where I live most of the time, but, you know, every card makes sense. Nothing is done in this deck, I feel, by accident or put there because they ran out of ideas, or, you know, it just, every single, look at the Empress, they're just gorgeous. Everything has real reason and thought behind it, in my opinion. Others may think not, but look, I just think it's such a well thought out deck. It's so beautifully produced. It's an important deck. The artwork is beautiful. I cannot praise this deck highly enough. Maybe others don't feel the same way, but I do. I think it's just a really beautiful deck. A really important deck. I've said that, haven't I? You know, anyway, I really like this deck, and I'm definitely crashing on it. That's all we need to know now. That is the Fifth Spirit Tarot by Charlie Claire Burgess. And I do believe there is a mass market version available. Okay, so prompt 7 is a favourite single card from a deck. Now, this would have been almost impossible had this particular card not basically chosen itself. If you follow me on my Instagram, you will know that this chap has been showing up in my readings a lot lately. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know how connected I feel to him. So this is from the Greenwich Tarot. This is the Horned God. My connection to Hearn, as I know him, others may know him as Cernunnos, Pan. My connection to him has been lifelong. I won't go into that too much again now. But the way this card is illustrated is, I think, the perfect example of everything he embodies for me. You know, he has that strong, powerful, commanding presence, his pose, his eye line, everything. But he's surrounded by this softness. He's surrounded by animals, which is basically how I want to live my life, which shows he's also generous and gentle and protective. And yeah, he had to be there because he wanted to be there, and I had to honour him, right? Oh, I'm so excited about this one. This next prompt is a deck that makes you happy, and I had to go for this one. This was a gift from my husband. He bought it from an independent seller on Etsy, and this is the Chonky Guinea Pigs Tarot. It's only the majors, but I don't care because I'm smiling so much already. The reason this deck means so much to me is because I rescue guinea pigs. It's one of my things. I love them. They're my spirit animal. Anything that is essentially just a prey animal and has nothing but predators that can squeak their head off at a human being sort of 10 times their size because their vegetables are late. That's got to be my spirit animal. And I'll just find the I need to give a shout out. So this is Nori Star Cream, who has an Instagram. Even that's cute. Look at that. Came in a cute little bag. And oh, the cards. See, this little guy, the Fool, is represented by one of my guinea pigs, I think. This looks like my Bruno. He lives with 4 girls and living his best life, but totally pushed around by them. But oh my gosh, and that one's like I've got a baby boy called Hearn who looks like that. Yeah. Oh, and the Empress is like, I had a pig called Bernadette, who she lived well into her very old age, and she was definitely the Empress. But yeah, they make me happy because look at these two. Sorry. They make me so happy because they're cute. I love guinea pigs. They remind me of guinea pigs that I've had, loved and lost, and the ones I've got now that squeak at me for vegetables continuously. Oh, there's Bruno, look, falling off the Wheel of Fortune. That sounds about right, bless him. See, they're just making me laugh. They're making me giggle. They are just... Oh, God, I want to free that little guinea pig. Look, his little foot. I mean, can we talk about the fact that death is riding in on a massive agouti guinea pig? Oh, and see, this one reminds me of a past pig I had called Terry. Oh, yeah. Oh, look. Oh, the devil's a chinchilla. I'd forgotten that. Oh, see, how could this... Oh, no, Bruno. What's happened to you there? So, yeah, I can't help but laugh and smile and giggle at this deck. It's just wonderful. It's such a gorgeous gift to get. And I love that they're being judged by a rabbit. Oh, that's amazing. And there's Bruno in the middle. Sorry. Yeah, I'm getting carried away again, aren't I? But I can't help it. It's just the most gorgeous, glorious little deck. It's made me happy just looking at it again now. I'll give a shout out again. It's Nori Star Cream, and it's the Chonky Guinea Pigs Tarot. So here we go with prompt number 9, which is a great guidebook. I did tell myself that I wasn't going to repeat too many decks that I've used in videos before for this, but sorry, not sorry, the Fyodor Pavlov had to come out for this particular prompt again. And I've seen people that aren't really keen on this guidebook, and I kind of wanted to explain why I think it's great. Aesthetically, it's very beautiful, yes, but the main reason is that Fyodor Pavlov really gives his reasons behind the decisions he's made. Why, when he's deviated from the RWS, he's done so. And I love that. It gives me an even greater appreciation and depth of meaning for each card. I mean, the son, for example, I could not decide which direction I wanted to go in at first, the couple or the child. And my mother-in-law asked me what spoke to me most strongly when I drew the son for myself. I told her freedom. I liked the dancing couple, but what spoke to me more deeply was riding or walking out of the garden gate as the child does, leaving behind an experience, good or bad, and coming out of it enriched and without losing one's joy. In my depiction, there is no horse. The youth walks out of an idyllic but overgrown garden, past a broken old gate onto an open lawn. And the baby, frequently seen on the sun card, is meant to symbolise innocence and the wisdom of children. While I like the innocent joy of the symbol, I do not agree with the wisdom. Let's be honest, babies don't know much beyond their immediate needs. While their judgment is unclouded, it is by definition nearsighted and underdeveloped. So, yeah, I mean, that's just a sort of brief example of an explanation, and I just love that about it. I want to know why somebody's made the choices they've made. I want to have more of an understanding of their insights into the cards, because I think that improves my own. So yeah, I had to do it. That's the guidebook for the Fyodor Pavlov Tarot, which, as you all know, I absolutely adore. Okay, so we are on prompt 10, and this is a deck you want by the end of the year or that you are still waiting on. Now, I did mention the John Dee Tarot, which is due out in November, which I really want to get my hands on. But I more specifically wanted to mention a couple of Kickstarters that I've backed. I'm really excited because this year is sort of the first time I'm backing Kickstarters. I have backed most recently the reprinting of the Greenwood Tarot, which I'm very excited about, but I wanted to mention the first two that I backed. And the first one is the Journey to Oz and Wonderland 2nd edition, which is a Mystic Madness tarot deck. I believe they have had some other successful Kickstarters before, and it just looks gorgeous. It was the first one I picked. I went through the big long list, and it's the one that jumped out at me. I love The Wizard of Oz. I love Wicked. I'm not going to lie. So I'm super excited for this one to arrive. I think it's probably going to be later in the year. I'm hoping it will arrive this year. We shall see. And then the second one is by Sarah Kathleen. And I just love the idea behind this one. It's specifically for use at a time when you are grieving. I think she said that when she was going through a period of grief, she couldn't find the deck that spoke to her in the way that she needed, which is why she's created this deck. And having come out of quite a few years where we had grief living alongside us quite heftily, that doesn't make sense, but hopefully you know what I mean. This deck absolutely spoke to me and pulled at my heart, and I had to back that one too. I think they were talking maybe July time for that one to come out. Who knows, we shall see, but I'm so excited about both of them and about the Greenwood Tarot, so fingers crossed that I shall have them in my possession by the end of the year. Righty-ho, if you've stuck with me this far, well done. This is prompt number 11, and this is a deck that you've barely used or have not used but want to work with this year. And for this, I have chosen the Line Strider Tarot by Ciolo Thomas. So it took me a really long time to actually get around to purchasing this. I'd looked at it over and over again. I was really drawn to it. I really liked the artwork, even though it wasn't sort of the style of a lot of the decks that I have. I love the guidebook. It's a really, really nice guidebook. Nice and sort of chunky. But yeah, I've no idea why it took me so long to actually decide to get it. And it's not as if I haven't bought decks that aren't my usual aesthetic before. I have. And yeah, the backs are gorgeous. Yeah, so it took me ages to get it. I was delighted when I did. I love it. But whatever was blocking me from buying it has also blocked me from using it. So I go to reach for the deck to use it because I really want to, and something stops me. Perhaps another deck that I'm more comfortable with will shout louder. I don't know. I wish I knew what it was that's stopping me, because I actually really love it. So I'm determined to break the cycle and actually use it this year and actually work with it this year. My initial impressions, because I haven't yet worked with it, are it feels to me like RWS stripped back. So whereas like my normal style would have lots going on around the whole card, heavily illustrated, lots of noise in the background, it's like all that has been stripped away and you are left with the absolute crux of the card, the important thing about the card, if that makes sense. I could be wrong, because as I said, I haven't worked with it yet, but yeah, that's the feel I get from it. And it isn't my usual aesthetic, but I love it. It actually has kind of a similar feel to the Runway Tarot, which I've done a video on. Has that kind of sort of style about it, I think. Yeah, I love it. I think it's a gorgeous, gorgeous deck. I love that card. I really, really want to work with it. And I wish I knew what was stopping me doing it. So here we go. This video is my promise to you and to the deck that I will make efforts to work with the Line Strider Tarot this year. There we go. It's now down on video. But what I have done, because I'm so keen to use it, and to get over whatever this kind of random block is that I've got with this deck. When I was very recently going through my mini deck obsession, I made a short about that. I think I put up recently. I found the mini Line Strider. So I thought, right, okay, I'll take it with me. If I pick this up and I take it with me, then I will work with it. But see, I love that card. I mean, that's one of the main cards that attracted me to it. The Fall card is a Morris dancer. I grew up with a dad who Morris dances and a mum who Morris danced, and all my family holidays were folk festivals, you know. So, yeah. So there's so much about this deck for me to connect with. And I'm determined to do it this year, be it big version or teeny weeny version. I'm going to do this. I'm going to use and work with the Line Strider this year. So the penultimate prompt is your favourite video that you've made or that you have seen. I mean, I've been pretty much obsessively watching TarotTube, and I could mention so many videos, so many creators. Yeah, we'd be here all week, and I think this video is long enough anyway. I think the favourite video of mine that I've made, generally I edit my videos and think, oh god, I'm just waffling on, no one's going to want to watch this. But I was quite sort of vulnerable when I posted my first ever video, and the response that I got to that was so lovely, and everyone in the community is so sweet, that I think that has to be my favourite video. As far as other creators, oh gosh, I could mention so many, but I'm just going to mention a couple for now. And I know there are lots of lovely creators that have been very supportive, but in the interests of brevity, I have to mention Angel at Feeding My Soul, because her support for me as a new channel has been so appreciated. She's so sweet, she's so kind, she's funny, and yeah, she really didn't mind this upstart newbie popping in and, you know, starting a hashtag early days. And yeah, she's great. I'm very grateful to her. I'm also very grateful to Moomin Tarot, who is a new channel like mine, and I want to give a shout out to her as well. As far as people that I'm learning from, I will always go for Tarot Magpie, Sylvie, and Lisa Papez, because they are so knowledgeable, yet so approachable, and I have learned so much from watching them. So yeah, I think I can't really pick a single video as much as I'd want to. So I hope that fulfills the brief of prompt 12 enough, and I shall move on. So if you are still awake, you will be delighted to know that this is the final prompt. And this asks you to pull a card to take forward for the next 6 months. So because I'm working with the Green Witch Tarot at the moment, I'm going to see what pops out for me from this deck. I think that one wants to come out, so yeah, let's have a little look. Right. Ah! The 8 of Chalices. Well, that's bang on the nose as a card for the next 6 months. This is why I love this deck, you see. Yeah, so in simple terms, I'm opening a physical shop for my vintage clothing business. And it's part of a plan to leave behind a career path that was not serving me and was actually causing a lot of stress. I'll just read. This card indicates leaving familiar surroundings and people for another location or group. This can mean a journey for a career or personal development, a physical move, or a change or promotion in work or career that elevates one to a higher level and requires a change in socialising patterns. I'll just skip. The time has come to take the lessons learned and move on. This usually means that one has abandoned some plan or project, or one that is ending a relationship, either personal or professional, for one's own good or through promotion and earned success. This card indicates that one has outgrown associates and old companions and needs to find emotional satisfaction through personal fulfillment and new environment. The meaning: turning point, abandoning plans, new path, scholarship, advancement, moving to a higher level, changing social patterns. Yeah, I mean, without going into masses of detail about why that's completely bang on, yeah, just reading that, that is completely and utterly on the nose, as I said, and this is why the Green Witch Tarot is, such a great, easy read for me. Anyway, so myself and little Mike here are very grateful for you sticking with us and watching this. Thank you again to Chanel Days for the prompt, which I've really, really enjoyed doing. I hope you're not too bored or asleep, and that you've enjoyed the video too. And thank you so much, and we'll see you again soon.